What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Elune video here on the channel. And today, guys, we're going to be going over, it's a little late, it's a lot late, but we are going to be going over the new update that we are going to be getting on the 29th. So that should be tomorrow at some point. I believe we're going to be getting this update. So this is mostly in regard to the boss battles that we're going to be getting. And the big thing is that Proto T3, 11, and 12 will be added. So stage 10 will also, this is a big reward for basically all the stages going one down starting with 10. It shows you right here, guys, that stage 10 will have a low chance of dropping rewards of stage 11, limited to Trent and Proto that has stage 11. So this will be a separate patch after the update. We will notify the community before we make the adjustment. So unfortunately, this will not be right when Proto does go live. But later on, we are going to see that this is going to have some pretty big implications if people are not at the point where they are able to beat Proto 11, Trent 11, or you don't have the time. I know it's very, very time consuming because you get a lot of failed runs, even if you have optimal teams. Well, at least with Trent right now, we don't know how Proto exactly is going to fare, but this is a really cool thing that you can do the opportunity of just burning or just doing your autos on Trent 11 or Trent 10, and hopefully you'll get some drops. So, and it doesn't say that there's a limited amount of times that you could get these drops, so that is pretty cool. So next we are going to be having obviously Proto 11 and 12. So you guys here, it does not show the recommended CP that we can see yet for this, but unless it shows us down here. Oh, it does. Okay, so I don't know if this is 11 or 12 here, but it looks like recommended CP is 150k, which is insane. But let's go over what the new abilities of Proto are going to have. So starting with stage 11, Proto 3 will have a new passive anti-magic barrier, and this is probably the big thing that is going to make him farming hard. When an enemy casts a buff, copy that buff on itself. So a certain buff that, for instance, like Wei Wei is going to be massively hard to use her because her S2 is basically her calling card to help keep you alive, to auto regen health, and basically that is going to make Proto like borderline maybe unkillable. So Wei Wei is probably not going to be an option for Proto 11. So keep that in mind. He can also copy Wei Wei's buff. He can copy Freya's barriers. He can copy Freya's S3. So anything that's buff is going to be very, very hard to get around with the anti-magic barrier passive. And it is a passive, so you cannot like lock it down or, you know, nullify it or anything like that. So keep that in mind. You're going to be better off using just regular healers, cleansers, things like that. So keep that in mind when you guys are formulating your teams. Next, we're going to go into Annihilation mode. Will be enhanced to deal stronger AoE damage in one turn. So that's basically going to be, you know, just obviously with the higher level, it's going to be outputting more DPS on your teams. And minions that Proto T3 summons will be greatly enhanced. So that's a little unfortunate. They were really easily killed in a 10. So that kind of makes sense. I'm hoping they're not as insane as they were with Trent. Like, I hope they don't. I would assume they're not going to strip buffs because we're trying not to use buffs here because Proto is going to copy them. But hopefully they're not going to hit insanely hard or make, you know, Proto immune to certain things. Hopefully they'll just be a little, you know, minor annoyance. But here we go. Rearing Eating Metal inflicts a weakening effect that reduces attack of all enemies by 80% for one turn. So that's pretty bad. But if you are so fast that you can outturn these guys, then hopefully this won't be as bad for Roaring Metal Eater. So there we go for that. So starting with 11 and T3 will be immune to action disable effects. Some skills will no longer require gunshot wound status effect for additional skill effects. So, and then here are his attacks. So it deals inflicts phys effect that it causes stun to enemies afflicted with gunshot wound for one turn. So it is only a 2-turn stun there, but then mortar, PT, mortar for stage 11, you see here is a lot more intense because you don't have to be affected with gunshot wound. It's just a straight up inflicts stun to the enemy for 2 turns. And that is why for the stun, why units specifically like Panda are going to be insanely good because they are going to allow you to remove debuffs. So where Karu can do that on her passive as well, but Karu does all these buffs. So if you're using Karu, it's true you're not going to be making the Proto as tanky, but you are going to giving him a lot of damage output. So we may have to test if with Karu's buffs, if he steals them, if he can like one-shot you still. If he can't, then possibly she's still usable because she does have a passive that removes buffs, or that removes debuffs rather, and she also does give you a lot of damage output potential. So she possibly could still be an option depending on how hard this guy hits. Let's see if we can actually go to his stats. I don't think it shows us. Oh, right here, yeah. So he has only 933 attack, so not very big attack. Lots and lots of defense on physical, and decent amount of magic defense as well, and then HP of 40k, it looks like. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the Mecha Golem. My bad. This is not this is not the actual Proto, so alright. So there we go for that. Alright, so then for Overlord, the difference between 10 and 11, actions are disabled when Annihilation mode ends, increases damage received by 50% and reduces healing received by all enemies by 80%. So you're going to take a lot more damage and your healing is going to get reduced. So pretty big jump there as opposed to just increased damage by 10%. So obviously Overlord is going to deal a lot more damage when that goes off. So, and it says we will be increasing the amount of damage received by Proto from Overlord from 10 to 50%, so that Elunes can do greater damage against Proto T3. However, Overlord will now place status effect that will reduce healing by 10%, reduces healing received by all enemies by 80%, so that it would be more difficult to prepare for the following attacks. Okay, so actually this is better for us. So you can deal him actually additional 40% more damage, but your healing is reduced by 80%. Okay, got it. So so I misread that. That means Overlord, the first effect is going to be on him. So of increasing damage received by 50%, and then reduces healing by 80%. So once you get into the Overlord state, you basically want to try to burst him down as fast as possible. Gotcha. And then check out the details below for recommended CPs, which we already kind of looked at. So it's 150k for 11, and then 1,270k is recommended. If any of you guys have solid teams that work in those comps, but those come to CP, bravo to you guys, but doesn't seem too likely unless you guys are day one players and you've spent quite a bit of money on the game, more than likely. But these are the different rewards you guys can get. So you can get the common Lightshires of the DPS, tank, healer, supporter, debuffer, Lightshire common, the Lightshire's hat plain, and then you guys can get the regular BJ and corrupt and discipline gear for 70 and 75. So here though, you are able to get, if you guys do go up to, so it doesn't say the Lightshire hat plain on. Okay, so I'm trying to, doesn't say the level. So it says right here, level 80 Lightshire hat legendary is a droppable reward, and then corrupt discipline. So BJ gear is not a droppable reward? Interesting, on stage 12. It's GS Great Spirit 75 80. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I'm a little confused by this because BJ is up here at level 11, but it's not here at all. That's a little strange to me. That's Greater Spirit 75. And then Discipline Corrupt Legendary Gear, Great Spirit 80 Lightshire Hat. Okay. I'm not going to read too much into this. I don't want to waste too much time. I mean, it shows right here the drop reward, seal, DPS Lightshire Soul, common crafting materials for great. Okay, so these are the what you guys get for the Great Spirit set, Gear 80. I guess that's what it's meaning. Okay. And then the Tank Lightshire Hat Plane. Okay. Rewards, and it's showing you here different things you can get. Looks like that's a necklace, it's going to be a shield, another necklace that looks like a hat, and then another hat. Okay. These may all be hats, actually, and they're all just hat planes for different class sets. So probably one's for DPS, tank, healer, debuffer, support, so on and so forth. And then it's showing you guys the gear crafting section as well, where you guys have to use the blue crystals, seeds, and then these as well. So you have to get these in order to make a level 80 Lightshire set. So it looks like you have to get 71 of them. Wow, that's a lot. And then 20 blue crystals. And then 400 seeds in order to get one copy of this. Wow, that's a little insane. So, get to the farming, guys. Hopefully Proto will be a little easier to tackle than Trent. So then after releasing T3, 11, and 12, we will be opening additional stages or adding new boss according to players' progression. Okay, we really just need a way to fight these bosses a little easier. In my opinion, I think they're a little too extreme, but we'll have to see how Proto goes. Trent was definitely over the top. So after update part 2, we'll be removing the entry limit on boss battle, which I am not happy about, personally, but I won't go into that. While there will be no change in rewards or drop rates for the first 3 battles or burning mode, the drop rate will be adjusted starting with the 4th round. So I would assume they're going to drastically lower the boss run. So honestly, if it's going to take this long also to farm Proto, I don't see myself spending an exorbitant amount of time, even after I get my last copy of Weiwei, to farm like crazy on these dungeons. So just, it's a time thing. How much time do you have in the day? You know, sort of thing like that. So we'll have to see though. But in update 3, we are planning on bringing back action, disable status effect, and boss setting caps on how many times the boss can receive a status effect. So this is probably one of the best things that we can see, because let's say, for instance, you can do it 3 fights, you're allowed to disable the actions. That is going to mean that Chloe or Arena or whoever you're using, even King Rim, can, you know, immobilize the bosses a certain amount of times. Now, will that be a certain amount of times per fight? Or will that be a certain amount of times, like, you click a check mark and, like, yes, I'm going to use disabling actions this fight, and that means you just go into, like, a normal resistance sort of situation. I don't know for sure. I'll definitely talk to the CMs and see what this is going to mean. We'll hopefully get some more clarification on this in a couple days when this does go live. But that is after update part 2, so I don't know when that's going to... or an update 3, I'm sorry. Update 3. So that could be another 2 updates from now. So that could be a long time. Maybe that's going to be like another 2 weeks. That could potentially be that, but we'll have to see. But let me know what you guys think of the update coming. The only big update we're getting is going to be the new bosses for the update for 10, and then the Proto T3, 11, and 12. We should be getting the new banner as well. I want to say it's on the 30th for Trent. So I believe that is actually going to be on Monday. So, and does it say here when the update is supposed to happen? Does not say. Okay. So, I would assume it's all going to be at the 30th. That's what it sounds like to me. But if there's a different date change, make sure you guys let me know in the comment section down below. And let me know what you guys thought of the upcoming update for Proto 11 and 12 and all the other things with boss mode. So let me know. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys drop a like down below. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new, and ring that bell so you guys can get some more up-to-date Elune content here on the channel. And I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll have to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.